3 acne spot treatments that don't suck. Ones that actually work effectively. And in today's video, we're going to discuss not just a roundup of which ones work, but the science behind how they actually function. Also, acne is different for different people. Did you know that teenage acne should not be treated in the same way that adult acne should be treated? And whether your acne is cosmetic based or whether it's hormonal based is going to have an impact on the products you use and the way that you treat it. So in today's video, I want to serve you the science. We're going to talk about these ingredients and I'm going to leave you with 3 options that you can look for so that if you do have a breakout, you can rely on some of these to take control of your skin. We're gonna specifically make some recommendations for adult acne, cystic acne, for teenage acne that might be a little bit more puberty related, as well as acne for people who have extremely oily skin. Because depending on how dry or oily your skin is, you're gonna need some different ingredients. Let's start out with a secret weapon that I feel most people don't talk about. That secret weapon is sulfur. If you've been an acne sufferer for a while, you've probably gone to the store and picked up a lot of salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide products. These are 2 ingredients that are proven to fight acne. We're going to talk about these a little bit later in the video, and they're great. But if you've already exhausted these options, sometimes you feel like you're left with nothing. There is an ingredient that is called sulfur that I think is so underrated. And it is amazing because not only is it helpful for acne, but it also has the potential to work on people who have rosacea in their skin, as well as people who suffer from dermatitis, some irritation, some dryness, and some itching. This specifically is called the drying lotion from Gold Mountain Beauty. The great thing about this drying lotion is that it is a drying lotion, but it doesn't stain your pillowcases and it doesn't leave the skin feeling irritated in my experience. You might get a little bit of redness and you might get a little bit of dryness, but the pimple size is greatly decreased and it's because of the sulfur that this is happening. So let's talk about that. Every single pimple on your face or your body is made up of 4 main components. There is oil that lives naturally in the skin. There is bacteria that lives naturally in the skin, but it starts to overproduce. It eats the oil. There is a plug that traps the bacteria and the oil into the skin. And then there are compounds that are released that cause inflammation. So the oil, the bacteria, the plug, and the inflammation are a part of every breakout. If you have those, your acne is not going to be fun. But if you start treating some of those factors, you can get rid of the acne. That is exactly what sulfur does. When sulfur is put onto your skin, it actually has a reaction with your keratinocytes, your skin cells, and it creates hydrogen sulfide. This hydrogen sulfide in this reaction actually kills bacteria, specifically the P. acnes, Propionibacterium acnes, or Cutibacterium acnes, that is the cause of all acne, but it's also fungicidal and germicidal, meaning it kills other germs and other fungi. You know fungal acne? Sulfur works directly on it. For some people who have more untraditional acne that is related to yeast or to fungus, sulfur can help. And again, I wish that sulfur was in more products, but I am so happy that it is in this one. The other thing about sulfur is that it's keratolytic. Keratin makes up your hair, your skin, and your nails. It's a protein, but unfortunately, remember how the plug is part of an acne breakout? If that keratin becomes a plug on your skin, it doesn't let the oil or the bacteria escape, which causes a breakout. Sulfur directly breaks down that keratin, that plug on the top of the skin, so that your skin can exfoliate naturally and do what it's meant to do, and the acne can stop taking up precious space on your pretty face. Thank you. Next. Sulfur also works directly against oil and sebum. Sebum is the oil in your skin, and remember, the bacteria feed off of this. People who have acne generally have a higher amount of oil production, which can not only lead to blackheads and whiteheads, but it can make you feel greasy and uncomfortable. Sebum works to help decrease that oil production, helping with breakouts and helping with the overall condition of skin. Sulfur is phenomenal because it works on so many of these different components, and especially for people who claim that they have tried everything, but maybe haven't used a sulfur product, it really is new hope. The other thing is that sulfur happens to be very soluble in alcohol. So we do have alcohol in this product. Occasionally alcohol can be drying, and this is isopropyl alcohol, so it is drying in this case. But if you do have large zits, this is a really good spot treatment for for them. You can wear it overnight, and if you feel dry, you can moisturize in the morning. We've also got Camphor. Camphor is derived from the bark of a tree, and it is a penetration enhancer. It means that all of the good ingredients that are also in this product are going to penetrate into the skin deeper. Carrier molecules literally grab hold of other molecules and pull them in deeper, and that is what this beautiful Camphor does for your face. Camphor is also a good astringent. Just the way your toner is an astringent, maybe you've used witch hazel before, Camphor is a really great natural alternative. When we look at the ingredients here, this also has some other goodies, such as sea berry fruit. Sea berry is really high in, I believe it's omega-7. And this is great because it's actually nourishing to the skin. And again, coupled with that Camphor, it means it's pulling these antioxidants in even deeper. We also got some iron oxide, we've got some magnesium aluminum silicate, and some zinc oxide. These are really helpful and have been linked to people who have acne in helping for the treatment and management of that. And then also we have salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is amazing. You see it on a lot of your acne products, and it is oil soluble. So this contains salicylic acid and sulfur, which are both proven to work directly on acne breakouts. And on top of that, it has some other good benefits for the skin. If you notice, it kind of separates. You have the top and the bottom. The bottom is the good stuff. Trust me, you do not want to shake this. Dip a Q-tip in and put this directly on your spots. Again, because it is a drying lotion, it does work quick. I like to wear this overnight because it doesn't stain my pillowcase. Just make sure that you moisturize in the morning if you find that your skin is a little bit dry. I used to really love a spot treatment called the anti-cyst treatment from Renee Rondelou, but when I posted a video about it, you butterflies in the comments actually alerted me that this is $10 cheaper and it happens to be more effective. And when we look at the ingredients, it does seem to be so. This is something I would highly recommend you try if you have not given sulfur a chance. But next, I also want to talk about salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is something that is used in a lot of different acne products. And the reason why is because it is medically proven to be effective. This happens to be one from Dermalogica. This is called the Age Bright Spot Fader. I think this is a really good product for somebody who deals with small whiteheads, occasional breakouts, and who does have a little bit more mature skin. Especially if you have oily skin, salicylic acid is a really ingredient to look for. Again, you can look for it as a main ingredient, or you can look for it as an additive inside of something else that contains other ingredients. This specific one from Dermalogica is also interesting to use. It comes with a little cap, you twist off the top, and it kind of works like a pen, so you can just spot this onto your skin. I really love this one, and if you find that salicylic acid works well for you, or if you haven't tried it, this is a really great place to start. When we look at the ingredients, salicylic acid at 2% is the active one. So let's talk about how that works. Salicylic acid is a BHA acid. That stands for beta hydroxy acid. And what you really need to know about it is that it means that it is fat soluble. Remember, there's oil in our skin. Oil is the sebum. And if we have an acid such as salicylic acid that is fat soluble, that means it's able to work with the oil in our skin to do what it needs to do. So then that becomes the question, what does it do? Salicylic acid has shown to be anti-inflammatory, and it helps to break up the oil, the stickiness within those cells, to help the skin exfoliate more evenly. It does not kill bacteria, but for some people, they find bacteria-killing products are a little bit too much for them. So this is a good and generally more gentle alternative. This does have a lot of ingredients in here, so if you're super sensitive to ingredients, you might want to be careful, but for me, I really like the breakdown in here. Again, first we have some water. We do have some witch hazel, which means this is a really beautiful astringent working to balance the skin and help to bring some of these ingredients deeper. We also have a couple different oils. We do have malic acid, which is an AHA acid, and alpha hydroxy acid that helps to exfoliate the skin. We've also got some lavender oil, some lemon peel, some rosemary oil, and some benzoic acid, which could potentially help to dry up any of that extra oiliness in the skin. This one is a little bit more expensive, but I do like it. But if you do have very oily skin and you primarily suffer from whiteheads, I think this is a really good go. Lastly, let's bring out the Terminator. This is the Terminator 10. It is from Acne Free, and I believe that this is the best for teenage acne. I just have a warning to preface it with because this stuff will stain. The base of this is benzoyl peroxide, and it happens to be at 10%. That's one of the highest levels that you can easily find over the counter, but the good thing is that this also has some nourishing ingredients in there too. The reason this is called the Terminator is because of the way benzoyl peroxide works. Benzoyl peroxide really dries up acne breakouts, and it does it quickly. Benzoyl peroxide also works on multiple steps of the acne breakout. Number one, it actually works on the plug. Remember the built up plug on the skin? It helps to break through that. Number two, it actually helps to work on the oil. helping to break down some of the oiliness in the skin. And number 3, directly killing the bacteria. When benzoyl peroxide is put on your skin, it goes through a chemical reaction, and that reaction kills bacteria. When we look at the chemistry of benzoyl peroxide, the molecule is made up of 2 benzene rings and a peroxide link. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, the peroxide link in the middle is pretty weak. And when it is introduced to heat, that breaks. What does that do? When the oxygen bond breaks, it releases a free radical. That free radical kills bacteria, and it's very effective at doing so. Now again, this is why I recommend it for teenage skin, not for adult or more mature skin. The reason why is because free radicals can cause damage in the skin. And if you're a little bit older, have more mature skin, or are worried about aging, that's not exactly something you want to add more of. For teenage skin that tends to be younger and turn over more quickly, this is usually totally fine. The amount in here is not going to do a lot of damage, and it can really help on some of those teenage and puberty related breakouts and be very efficient. My only warning is that this stuff stains. So please do not wear it with your favorite t-shirt. Do not use it before you go to bed because it will stain your pillowcase. You do need to be very, very careful with it. This specific formula is great because not only is it this potent benzoyl peroxide, but they actually put in some nice ingredients in here too. They also put chamomile flower in there that can be very soothing to the skin. And seeing as benzoyl peroxide can be drying, it's nice that they include it. They also include ginger. Ginger is great and actually has some antioxidants, so it can kind of buffer the free radical damage that might be happening on a low level. Lastly, they do say they have a sea whip extract. They're not specific on what kind of sea whip, like is it seaweed whip, is it ocean water whip? We don't know, but I like that they made an effort to include a couple of natural options in here. If you have adult cystic acne, you tend to get breakouts, and you feel like you've tried everything, this $19 product is a really good sulfur alternative and way to go. If you're looking for something with salicylic acid, you have very oily skin, and you tend to get whiteheads, this one from Dermalogica is a great choice that works directly with that oil and is very, very natural. And if you are suffering from teenage acne, if you're an athlete, or you are going through puberty at its finest, the Terminator 10 from Acne Free is a really great drugstore option that can terminate pimples like the Terminator. Like Tauros, Theos, who's that guy, that monster that everyone's talking about nowadays because of the Avengers? Obviously, I don't watch TV. I live under a rock and read medical textbooks all day. These are the honest reasons why you are still breaking out. And this right here is something that you need to see if you're struggling with your acne. Always remember to be beautiful inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.